Chapter 1. The Psychological Hook. Close your eyes for 3 seconds. Now try to not think about a polar bear wearing sunglasses. Did you fail? Of course you did. Here's the problem. Your brain just proved it doesn't listen to you. You tried to suppress a thought, and it got louder. Now imagine this happening with your worst habits, your old beliefs, your autopilot reactions when everything around you is falling apart. What if I told you the secret to thriving in chaos isn't learning more? It's unlearning what's already wired into your skull. Let me show you something. Read this sentence once. I am reading this sentence right now. Notice how your brain didn't stumble? It predicted every word before you finished reading it. That's called predictive processing, and it's running your entire life on autopilot, even when that autopilot is crashing the plane. The most successful people in chaotic environments don't have better brains. They've learned to rewire the ones they have. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how they do it. Chapter 2. The Bridge. Let's go back to 1967. NASA is training astronauts for the Apollo missions. They have a problem. When things go wrong in space, there's no time to think. There's only time to react. But here's the catch. Human reactions are built from old experiences. If an astronaut's brain defaults to car brake equals stop, but in zero gravity that same motion sends them spinning into equipment, people die. So NASA hired psychologists to do something radical. They taught astronauts to unlearn their Earth-based instincts before learning space-based ones. They called it negative training, deliberately breaking old neural pathways before building new ones. The astronauts who mastered this didn't just survive, they thrived when systems failed. When Apollo 13's oxygen tank exploded, the crew didn't panic. They rewired their expectations in real time. They unlearned spacecraft equals safe and relearned spacecraft equals survival puzzle. That's the blueprint. And it's the same one your brain can use today, whether you're navigating a crisis at work, a relationship breakdown, or the chaos of modern life that never stops accelerating. Chapter 3. The Mirror. You know that moment when your phone dies and you instinctively keep reaching for it, even though it's dead? That's your brain running on old code. Or when you're in an argument and you know getting defensive will make it worse, but your mouth starts moving anyway? Old code. When you procrastinate on the thing you know you should do, when you check Instagram just for a second and emerge 40 minutes later, when you say, I'm fine, but you're clearly not, all old code. Here's what nobody tells you. Chaos doesn't break you. Your outdated mental software does. Think about it. You're trying to focus in a world designed to fracture your attention. You're trying to make rational decisions while algorithms flood your brain with emotional triggers. You're trying to build a stable life in an economy that changes the rules every 6 months. And now, AI just changed the entire game. 2 years ago, your skill was valuable. Today, ChatGPT does it in seconds. Your brain is still running code from a world where your expertise meant job security, but that world is gone. Your grandparents' brains weren't built for this, neither was yours. But theirs didn't need to adapt this fast. The difference between people who drown in chaos and people who surf it? They've learned to spot the old code running in the background, and they've developed a system to rewrite it. Resist. Create the 5-second gap. Here's the counterintuitive part. Don't try to stop the old pattern. Your brain will fight you. Instead, delay it by 5 seconds. Just 5. This sounds stupidly simple, but it's neuroscience. When you pause, you activate your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that makes conscious choices. Without the pause, your amygdala, your emotional autopilot, runs the show. How this looks in real life. The email situation. You see, can we talk? Your hand moves toward your phone to immediately respond or spiral into anxiety. Stop. Count to 5. Breathe. Then ask, what else could this mean? Maybe they want your input. Maybe it's about a project, not your performance. Now you respond from clarity, not panic. The AI situation. You see that post about AI replacing your skill. Your thumb moves to keep scrolling, to find more evidence that you're obsolete, to feed the anxiety spiral. Stop. 5 seconds. Close the app. Ask yourself, is panicking about this actually useful right now? The answer is always no. You've just broken the spell. Neuroscientist Dr. Judd Brewer calls this disenchantment. You're breaking the spell of automaticity. You're not fighting your brain, you're creating a gap where choice can exist. Rebuild. Install the new code. Now here's where most people mess up. They think awareness is enough. It's not. You need to practice the new response at least 10 times more than the old one appeared. Your brain doesn't unlearn through understanding. It unlearns through repetition of the replacement. Here's your rebuild protocol. For email anxiety, old code, vague message equals disaster. New code, vague message equals incomplete information. I'll respond calmly and gather facts. The practice. Every time you get a message that triggers you, before responding, type out, "Don't send." Thanks for reaching out. I'm available to chat. What specifically would you like to discuss? This trains your brain that you can stay calm and professional even when your nervous system is screaming. Do this 10 times. Even with low-stakes messages, your brain needs repetition. For AI anxiety, old code. AI replaces my skills equals I'm obsolete. New code. AI handles tasks. I handle thinking, strategy, and problems AI can't see yet. The practice. Here's something powerful. Every day this week, find one thing AI did. Wrote an email, created an image, analyzed data, and ask, what questions should I ask about this that AI can't ask? Maybe AI wrote a marketing email, but did it ask whether this is the right message for this audience right now? Maybe AI designed a logo, but did it consider your company's story 5 years from down the road? Do this 10 times. Train your brain that AI is a tool that makes your thinking more valuable, not less. The people winning right now aren't competing with AI. They're using AI to compete with people who refuse to adapt. After 10 rounds, your brain starts defaulting to curiosity instead of fear. You stop seeing AI as a threat and start seeing it as leverage. The chaos test. When everything breaks. Here's a brutal truth. Most people fail at this because they try to unlearn while they're in chaos. That's like trying to rewrite your operating system while the computer is on fire. The pros do it differently. They practice unlearning in low-stakes moments, so the new wiring is ready when chaos hits. Think of it like fire drills. You don't learn how to evacuate during the fire. You practice when things are calm, so your body knows what to do when your brain is screaming. So here's your homework. This week, pick one autopilot reaction. Just one. Days 1 to 3. Recognize it. Track when it appears. No judgment, just observation. Days 4 to 6. Resist it. 5-second pause. Every single time. Day 7. Rebuild. Practice your new response 10 times, even if you have to create scenarios in your head. One pattern, 1 week. That's it. Because here's what happens. You successfully rewire one pattern and your brain realizes, oh, I'm not stuck, I can change. That realization is more powerful than any motivational video. The world isn't slowing down. AI isn't going away. The chaos is permanent now. But your brain? Your brain can rewire faster than the world can change, if you give it the right code to run. Remember that polar bear in sunglasses? Your brain still hasn't forgotten it. That's not a bug, it's a feature. Your mind holds on to things. The question is, what are you letting it hold on to? Unlearning isn't about erasing who you are. It's about editing the code that's running your life without your permission. The future doesn't belong to people with the most information. It belongs to people who can rewire themselves faster than the world changes around them. You now have the weapon. The question is, Will you use it? Subscribe to Quiet Patterns to decode the rest of the game. Stay quiet, stay observant, master the pattern.